Hello, good day. You are welcome to ScienceMathz, the educational source solutions. Here in ScienceMathz, we solve mathematical problems and scientific problems and give you the solution that you are looking for. Today, we'll be looking at quadratic equation. I know you must have heard of this in your school or probably been taught on this very same topic. So today, I'm going to refresh your mind by telling you that quadratic equation is expressed as s squared plus bs minus c equals to 0. And it's called quadratic equation because it's equal to 0. When you remove the equal to 0, what is left, which is s squared, as squared plus bs minus c, is referred to as quadratic expression. Okay? Now, how do you know that this is quadratic expression or equation? Now, when you look at the first s is having a power of 2, and the second s is having a power of 1. And when you look at the last number, there is no s there, just c. Okay, when you see this kind of arrangement, you quickly know that this is quadratic expression. And when these values on the right hand side, on the left hand side, is equated to 0 on the right hand side, you know that becomes a quadratic equation. Okay, now in solving quadratic equation, there are 4 major methods that are applied. Okay, now we're going to look at 3 of these methods. If you're interested in the last method, we can make special arrangement for that. Now, what is the first method? The first method is called factorisation. Okay, and the second method is called completing the square method, and the third one is the almighty formula, or you can simply say the formula method. The fourth one is the graphical method, which we will not be handling in this video series. Okay, but we can make special arrangement if you need it. Okay, just get in touch with us. Now, looking at factorization method, we will be considering this problem that says solve s squared plus s minus 6 equal to 0. Okay, now let's look at the solution. First of all, we'll bring down the equation s squared plus s minus 6 equals to 0, and we'll take a line from s squared to 6, indicating that we are going to multiply minus 6 with s squared. And when you do that, you will have minus 6s squared. Okay? Now, the next thing we need to do is look for the factors of minus 6s squared. Now, what are the factors of minus 6s squared? They are simply 3s plus 3s and minus 2s. Okay? Plus times minus will give you minus at the back of the 6. 3 times 2 will give you 6. S times s will give you s squared. So this is a perfect factor of minus 6s squared. Now, what do we do next? We substitute these factors of minus 6s squared for s in the equation above. Okay? Now, how do you do that? You simply say s squared plus 3s minus 2s minus 6 equal to 0. So you can see that there's no more s there. After the s squared, there's supposed to be an s, but instead of writing s, we write plus 3s minus 2s, which are the factors of minus 6s squared. So in other words, plus 3s minus 2s will invariably give you what? Plus s. Alright? Good. Now, we are going to group these items on the left hand side of the equal to into brackets. Okay, we are going to group them into 2 using a bracket. Now this is what I mean. S squared plus 3s in bracket. The minus remains at the middle. 2s minus 6 in bracket all equal to 0. Nothing change here except you just introduce brackets to group the items on the left hand side into two groups. What else? Now let us take out the common factors outside the bracket. What is common between s squared plus 3s? S. That's good. Now what is common between 2s and 3 and 6? 2. Beautiful. Okay. Now we take s out of the bracket, leaving 1s plus 3 in a bracket. On this other side, we take 2, which is common to both 2s and 6, outside the bracket, leaving s plus 3 inside the bracket, all equal to 0. Did you observe anything here? Of course you do. You could discover that the sign between 2s and 6 in the above equation has changed to plus in the below equation. We now have s plus 3. The reason is because there is a minus between 3s and 2s, and since we are taking the common factor of 2s and 6 outside the bracket, that gives us minus 2. Invariably, the minus between the 2s and the 6 become plus in the new equation, because minus 2 times s will give you minus 2 in the above equation. Minus 2 times plus 3 will give you minus 6 in the above equation. So this shows that our new equation is quite correct. Okay? If you are still confused, drop a comment and I will do it to get back to you. Now take note of the change of the sign when adding the bracket, rather while taking out the common factor. Okay? So what do we do next? You could see that in this other side we have s plus 3, and at the back of the 2 we have also s plus 3. So s plus 3 is common to both s and minus 2. So what do? We simply take one of them. Okay? Simply take one of them and put into brackets, and take the s at the front and the minus 2 to form another bracket, all equal to 0. Now you can see that now there's no sign between the two brackets. Okay? We have s plus 3 in bracket, s minus 2 in bracket, all equal to 0. Now let's equate each bracket to 0 so that we can get the value of s. In other words, s plus 3 equals to 0, or s minus 2 equal to 0. Now let's make s the subject of the formula. In other words, taking the value without the s to the other side of the equal to, leaving s alone on the other side. Okay? Now take note, s becomes equals to minus 3. Do you know what happened there? Because plus 3 is moving across the equal to, the plus changes to minus. So that's why we have s equals to minus 3, or s equals to 2. When minus 2 crosses the equal to the other side, the minus becomes positive. Okay? So that's why we have s equals to 2. You can also say s equals to plus 2. You don't, that is also correct. Okay? So whatever way you write it is also correct. S equals to minus 2, s equals to minus 3, or s equals to 2, or s equals to plus 2. Alright? Therefore, the value of s is equal to minus 3 or 2. So these are the roots of the equation, the value of s. Thank you for watching this video. Do well to subscribe to get or depth as we roll them out for you. Okay, because this is a series that will be continuing. We'll just use the factorization method to solve this particular problem. In the next video, we'll be using the completing the square method to solve this same problem, so that you can see how the completing the square method is used to solve quadratic equation. Don't forget, subscribe to our updates, tick the bell so that you can be notified when we post the new video, and also share this video with your friends and families, your classmates, okay, and also tell them to subscribe for updates. Thank you.